So as the introduction said, I'm Steve Blackwell, and I lead our Product Engineering and Services Center of Excellence at AWS. And I'm joined on stage with...
Hello, I'm Jason Eckley. I'm a solutions architect for our worldwide automotive manufacturing customers.
Okay. So as said, we're going to talk about in the next kind of 15 minutes around how you can accelerate computer-aided design, or CAD workloads on AWS. Specifically around kind of Siemens NX, which is their computer-aided design software. So over the next 15 minutes, we're going to take you kind of on a journey of what we've been doing for the last year or so. First, talk about what we're seeing happening in the industry around CAD and what's actually affecting CAD workloads. Then we want to talk about how AWS and our cloud and infrastructure is supporting acceleration of CAD. And then I'm going to hand over to Jason that's going to do a little deep dive into the benchmarking we've done with Siemens NX on AWS compared to the traditional on-premise workstation. And then we'll do a little bit of closing up around kind of price performance findings and how we see kind of the trends going. So, first of all, we're seeing more and more of our customers wanting to move, or address the challenges around engineering workstations. So if any of you, or maybe some of you are actually engineers yourself, or any of you have been into an engineering department, in most cases, engineers have large workstations sitting underneath their desks where they do all their design work, everything conceptual design through to having models ready to go into kind of production usage or use for computer-aided engineering kind of simulation. And some of the challenges they have is these workstations are very costly. Maybe be worth up to like 15,000 USD for one workstation. And they constantly need, high performance to be able, use these workstations. So the infrastructure is constantly evolving to keep up with the need of the engineers. Additionally, what a manufacturer is actually engineering is their product. It's their IP, and they want to make sure that our IP is secure. So one of the challenges they're very conscious of is making sure that, with data being on these workstations, and in some cases these workstations are laptops and like moving around, they want to make sure that it's secure and protected. And finally, a lot of these CAD applications are traditional applications, but with the case of generative AI and agentic AI, engineers want to take advantage of this with a native integration of these CAD applications. So these are kind of the challenges we're seeing of why manufacturers and engineering departments are actually looking to move to the cloud. Just looking from like a engineering workload point of view, one of the other things we're seeing, in addition to those challenges I just called out and the reasons for driving it, is in our current state today, the cost of DDR5 RAM is significantly increasing. In fact, over the last couple of years, we're seeing nearly up to 187% increase in price on this RAM. And RAM is one of the major components in these engineering workstations, which is actually driving cost up. If we look at it compared to from an AWS point of view, when someone runs a engineering workstation on the cloud, they're using our G family EC2 instances. These are GPU-enabled instances. And as you can see, on the table on the right-hand side, over the years, we have not increased the price of our instances. So compared to a traditional workstation where the price is going up, we've kept that price constant. Now, as a quick introduction, if you haven't come across, Siemens is one of our partners. Their premier CAD application is called Siemens NX. And it's used everything from kind of conceptual design through to complex assemblies and so forth. And it has a very much high demand on the underlying compute platform to do the types of part design and kind of assemblies and so forth. So as a very quick intro, we've got many generations of our G family instance. It's our GPU-enabled instance. Go back into kind of like G4, which is typically NVIDIA T4 with around 16 gigabytes of memory, to our latest instance, which is our G7E, which has up to 96 gigabytes of RAM and so forth. So as you see, as we've introduced more generations of our G family instance, we've kind of increased kind of the memory and the bandwidth of those instances. I just want to talk about briefly, our latest G instance family, the G7E. One of the things we're really being conscious of is, increasing the capabilities of this G7E. It's based on the Blackwell Server Edition chipset. And you can see here, it offers significant improvements over the previous generation NVIDIA chipset and our G family instance. So with that, let's get into kind of like how we came up with this benchmarking and how we see kind of our CAD workstations in the clouds, be better than kind of a traditional workstation. And Amazon always works backwards from our customers, and we're data-driven. So we want to share some of the data. But we want to show you that we didn't come up with this data ourselves. We based it on industry standards. So SpecApp is a standard benchmarking tool. It's open, available. Anybody can actually go and look at the results, and anyone can actually pay the fee to be able to actually take the benchmark and actually run it. Okay. The actual reference workstation as part of benchmarking. Anytime you do a benchmarking, you've always got to have a data point that everyone works from. So here is kind of the benchmark that it's based on. You can see it's based on a Intel Core i9 processor, an NVIDIA RTX A100 GPU running a Windows 11 operating system. So this is the baseline that the benchmark actually uses. Okay, so let's get a bit into kind of a little bit of performance related and the details around that. At this point, I'll hand over to Jason.
Thank you, Steve. So, just to reiterate what Steve said, SPEC is a vendor-neutral, vendor-agnostic organization. This is what they do. They've been around since 1988. You may have heard them in the context of HPC. You may have heard them in many different instances of integer, floating point performance. They have specific items for workstation performance. And I do apologize on my voice. I've been talking a lot. So we're going to go into those details. As Steve showed us, Amazon has a history of introducing multiple G family instances that over each generation, they get better and better and better. And this trend continues. What we see actually on this graph, in the center, that white line is the reference system that we talked about, right? That's kind of that baseline system that they're comparing us to. When we see that orange line slightly to the right, that's actually an average of all the submissions that have taken place for these workstations. And then what we see in the actual horizontal graph in the green are those G7E family instances that we've tested. And then the blue, those are traditional on-prem workstations from existing workstation vendors such as HP, Dell, and so forth. Those are all great workstations and all very powerful workstations. But what we can actually see here is that the G7E family specifically is now at the top of the stack. Right? It is now able to accomplish a lot of these traditional items that $15,000, that $20,000 workstation used to have to be the required hardware for. So there's some pricing information and details. As we see the G7E 8XL, it is 72% above that baseline workstation, that comparison workstation. Now again, these benchmarks evolve as well. So in the next year or two, we'll probably get another version of this benchmark and therefore update our numbers as well. But what you can see is that the traditional engineering workstation is no longer exclusive to on-prem. It used to be in the olden days that these were liquid-cooled workstations. This is how high-performant these machines were, but this is now very easy to do in the cloud for us. And what you get by doing this with all of your other workloads is you get this amplification factor that takes place when you're doing your CAD and CAE workloads in the cloud. So zooming in a little bit to the actual compute performance, this is another way to look at it. There's basically two big divisors that take place. There's the GPU performance, that graphical processing, and there's the CPU performance. With the G7E, with our partners at Intel, we developed the G7E family to utilize the Emerald Rapids chipset from Intel. And as you can see, that dotted line at the top there, the G7E now gets us above that baseline system from a CPU performance standpoint. Engineering applications are interesting where they often have what we refer to as single-threaded workloads, or blocks of single-threaded code. So the normal server approach is many cores, but these applications need fast single cores. And this is just the dynamics of how these applications work. But what we can see is the G7E, which was released earlier this year in January, is now actually able to surpass the workstation, the traditional workstation. And then you see the historical performance here on the right-hand side, the G4DN, the G5, and the G6. And then as we get to that G7E is where we're now crossing those thresholds. So another way to look at this data is the following. So what we see is that G7E 8x large at 21% over that performance. We also see some other ones in there. Now, what this is meant to show us is that when you buy an on-prem workstation, you are buying that workstation for the entire length of its life cycle. What you can do with AWS is you can right-size your underlying performance for the task at hand, or the engineer or the designer at hand. Not every engineer necessarily needs the most performance, and so you can mix and match these instances at will in order to achieve your desired financial operations. So we can see the G7E 8XL, 21% over, G6 8X large is reduced performance, but also has financial benefits from that. So to look at some more price performance analysis, as we mentioned, you can do this mix and match, as we call the personas that you're dealing with, of the senior designers, the senior engineers, or the task at hand for that day. So as we can see on the left-hand side, we have a G6F as well, which is what we refer to as a fractional instance. In a lot of these situations, the software may only need a time-sliced portion of the GPU, but still have a very strong CPU. So there's many different ways to kind of mix and match in the AWS instance portfolio in the G family. Now, the important part again is that, as we see here, I might be using 5% of that premium resource during that time frame. So my overall cost modeling is very low as compared to that on-prem workstation, which is a fully sunk cost. When we look at the entire company-wide, engineers don't work alone, right? There's large teams of engineers that do this. We generally refer to that as a fleet. The fleet mechanics and the fleet numbers make sense as well. When we look at a production engineer at the $91 a month, when we look at the power user, the R&D engineer, we can see those differences of the resources that they're consuming and the associated financial impact of that. So, the question, as Steve introduced, Siemens and NX from a CAD tooling standpoint is an industry standard. There's many other CAD tools out there. This is just a glimpse into the NX process and the NX performance itself because of the standard benchmarking that's available to us. However, this also works very similar to things like CATIA, SolidWorks, and other products that are your existing tool suites. So, how to work with us, how to interoperate with us. This is generally what it looks like when we work with folks that have CAD and C workloads. We define proof of concepts, we define items that maybe is a model load time, how fast do your models load, and then we go through this process with you in order to right-size your environment based on both the hardware as well as the personas that you have in your engineering community.